This game should not exist, but I'm playing it, so it does. And you're here watching it, so it does. But it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. This is the PC Engine Files, and we're playing Super Mario Brothers. Now, I suppose you could say that it really doesn't exist because it was never officially released for the PC Engine and certainly not on the TurboGrafx 16. I don't even know if a hue card of this exists. I suspect this is somebody's homebrew project done completely from scratch, although I could see some person maybe manufacturing a hue card and putting it in a package and selling it as Super Mario Brothers, which would be completely without the permission of Nintendo, let alone the homebrew author, let alone any royalties going to any of the license holders. So it would be a very bad idea, but that hasn't stopped a lot of bootleg games and a lot of bootleg Famiclones from getting produced and released over the years. Bad ideas do happen all the time. I just found this one randomly while looking around for TurboGrafx 16 games that I hadn't reviewed, and when I saw Super Mario Brothers for PC Engine, I thought this was going to be a joke, a lark, a troll. I didn't believe this would actually work or be real, but much like the fact that somebody ported Mega Man over to TurboGrafx 16, it's real and it works. Although whether or not it works is debatable because the music runs way too fast and I haven't found any way to control it or slow it down with OpenEMU. I don't even know if that emulator is sophisticated enough to change the hertz or the frame rates or any of those things. So maybe this is somehow a PAL standard and that's why it's running super fast, but I don't think so. I think it was just the programmer's attempt to recreate the soundtrack at a different pitch and tempo as best they could. Or maybe they were working with a PAL source copy and copied what they heard, and that was too fast, so this is too fast. In fact, the Reddit thread I could find about this game seemed to come to the same conclusion. I quote from Shiny Plastic Bag, who was the original poster. I'm fairly stunned by the unofficial port of Super Mario Bros. There are a few other Famicom games that got ported over, and they were released in 1994. It's not perfect, the colors are a bit off, there are graphical glitches, and the sound is unbearable. Oh, and it seems to be based on a 50Hz version because it runs way too fast on my system. Arugulas replied and said, "You should see the Sega Genesis port of Super Mario Bros. It is in most respects very close to the NES game, but then you listen to the music and it sounds like the 7th inning stretch at a baseball game." Whoops! So that does raise an interesting question here. If this was quote-unquote released in 1994, then who did it and why? So I dug deeper and I found a post at NES Dev, and C. Covell in that thread said, on March 19, 2006, I might add, he said, NES games can be hacked with considerable effort to run on PC Engine. Those NES hacks are from Image, a Finnish cracking group. Since Image were Finnish, they used the PAL ROM of Super Mario Bros. For their PC Engine conversion, thus the colors are a bit off and the speed is wrong on NTSC systems such as PC Engine TurboGrafx 16. Image also hid a few pictures at the end of their ROMs. Go have a look for them in some tile editors. chrismcovell.com. So that explains why this exists. They did it as a lark. They did it to prove that they could do it. They did it just to test the limits of their cracking and hacking ability. Can we make an NES game run on a PC Engine? Yes we can. Do we care if it looks and sounds the way people in other countries would expect it to look and sound? No, we don't. Because we're Finnish, and we're making this for other Finnish gamers. So they didn't think about this being disseminated all over the internet, all around the world. And yet, because it's the internet, it has been, and it's out there. And you can play it now too if you can find it. Not telling you where, because obviously this is a bootleg Nintendo game running on a PC Engine, so Nintendo can't be entirely happy that this exists. But you don't have to look very hard. If you type in Super Mario Bros. PC Engine on something other than a Google search engine, you will run across this in no time flat. And just be warned that once you play it, the physics are going to feel off, the sound is going to grate on your ears, and the experience is going to be subpar compared to your memories of it on an original NES or Famicom. But as a novelty, as a curiosity, it does exist and you can play it. And I would recommend at least trying it, but definitely do not buy it. If you see someone selling a physical copy of this, whether it's on a HuCard or a CD-ROM or any other form of media, you should not pay for a copy of this because that is blatant theft and bootleggery at the highest level, and I cannot condone that. But try it for free in emulation or on an EverDrive or on a Super SD3, whatever form of media you think would be appropriate to try something like this. I'm Mr. MegaManFan. This is the PC Engine Files. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week with another video and probably not another bootleg game. But hey, if it's fascinating enough, who knows? Maybe we'll look into the existence of more bootleg NES games running on PCE.